To get started with our Blackboard, we're going to go to our enemies folder, right-click. Under Artificial Intelligence, you have our behavior tree and Blackboard. We need both of them. So I'm going to create the behavior tree, name it BT underscore enemy base, and right-click again, go to Artificial Intelligence, get Blackboard, and then BB underscore enemy base. So this is our Blackboard. Now I'm going to right-click and create a new folder and name this Blackboard. Drag the Blackboard and the behavior tree in there as well. And one more thing that I'm going to create is to create our own AI controller. So go to our blueprint class, and then here under all classes, if it is closed, just click on this arrow and search for AI controller, and you will get the AI controller. You can choose either or, but I'm going to go with the base AI controller and then select. Name this AIC for AI controller, and then name it enemy base. And I'm going to save all first, and then go to my base enemy first. And then inside of the base enemy, I'm going to select our base enemy. And then in this details, I'm going to search for AI controller. And then here, I'm going to select the AIC enemy base as our controller. Now our AI will be using that new controller that we just created. We can go back to our content drawer, grab our AI controller, and then put it into the Blackboard as well. Open the Blackboard folder. First, what we're going to do is go to our behavior tree. And then under this behavior tree, if you open this up, behavior tree, you will actually see our Blackboard that we just created. Because it's the only Blackboard in the same folder as the behavior tree, it's going to automatically pick it up. If it doesn't, you can just select the drop down and select the Blackboard. Second, we're going to go to our AIC, which is our AI controller. Inside of our AI controller, we're going to delete both begin play and also event tick. We can always get it after. We're going to right click and say on possessed, event on possess. Here, I'm going to go and say run behavior tree. You don't really need to connect the target here. And then the BT asset, which is the behavior tree asset, we're going to select our BT enemy base. Compile and save. Now our enemy is ready to use our behavior tree. For those who don't know, let me quickly explain what a behavior tree is. Now imagine the behavior tree as the roadmap for AI decisions. Each AI character has its own behavior tree that will help it decide what to do, like moving, attacking, or searching, or patrolling, or many other tasks. The tree will run through its branches, making decisions on what it finds. Think of it as a flowchart that controls how the enemy behaves. The behavior tree uses two different nodes to get this completed. One is a selector node, and the other one is a sequence node. Now, the selector node are decision makers. When the selector node runs, it checks each child task in order from left to right, but it stops as soon as it finds one that succeeds. Here's an example of how a selector will work. At first, the selector is going to try and attack the player. Now, if the player is not close to it, then it's going to fail. And then it will run the next task. And the next task is to move closer to the player. And if it cannot move closer to the player, then it's going to go to patrol mode. And it's going to go around and patrol. So it's like, try this, and then try this. So this way, the AI will pick the first successful action and then go with it. This is what a selector will do. Now, in a sequence, the sequences are all about completing steps in a specific order. So when the sequence runs, it's going to go through each of its child tasks in its order, but it will stop if any of them actually fails in that order. So let's say we tell the AI to patrol, then move closer, and then attack the player if they are closer. If the AI is unable to patrol due to not having a patrol route or whatever the case may be, the nav mesh is not set up, they cannot move, whatever the case may be, the entire sequence will fail. The sequence will never go to move closer or attack. Unlike selector, which goes from one to another and finds which one works, the sequence, as soon as patrol fails, the rest of them is considered as a failure. If patrol succeeds, then it's going to go to move closer. And if it cannot go move closer to the player because there's an obstacle in the way or a door is closed or whatever, the rest of the sequence will be considered as a failure and it will go right back up and then go back to its route, which then the route will then decide what's going to happen next. That is all for the behavior tree. This is just a process flow chart that you're creating for the AI to tell it what to do if something fails and what do they need to do in order. Hopefully that helps you understand what a behavior tree is. And we're going to use the selector and the sequence to run different behaviors on the actual enemy. Right now, the only behavior that we have in the enemy is to move to the player character. So we're going to change that and move it into the behavior tree. First, we're going to go ahead and delete all of this. We don't need any of this, and then compile and save. And then we're going to go to our behavior tree. Off of the root, I'm going to drag and select a sequence, just so I can show you how this is going to work. And off of this, I'm going to drag and say move to. There's a function called move to. This move to function actually has a target. At this time, it's set to self actor, but using Blackboard key, you can actually change the self actor to anything and everything you like, whether it's a location or whether it's a target player. So our entire function that we had in our base enemy about AI move to, we can do this here. For that, we're going to go to our Blackboard and create a new key of type object. And then here, we're going to say target actor. And this key type, I'm going to open this key type, and then the base class of this, I'm going to make this into a actor type. And now I save it. Back in my behavior tree, I'm going to select this move to, and then select the target actor. Now, just because we set up this target actor and set it to type actor, the enemy is not going to move towards the player. We have to define this target actor and name it the player character. To do that, we're going to be using our AI controller. We're going to go to event begin play for now, just so that we can see how this Blackboard works. And we're going to go ahead and say get Blackboard. Now, what this allows us, because we're running this behavior tree, we are able to actually say get Blackboard, and this will give us a reference to the Blackboard that we're using here. And once you get this, what you can do is we can also get our player character. And off of our Blackboard, we're going to say set value as object. The reason why we're using object is because in our enemy base, we selected our target actor as an object. The key type is an object, so that's why we're doing set value as an object. And off of the key name, I'm going to drag it and promote it to a variable so I don't have to type it many times. I'm going to type it as target actor. And this target actor, compile and save, go to our Blackboard tree. We need to copy this exact same name, entry name as target actor, and then we're going to paste it in here. Compile, save, and then the object value will be our player character. Now, this is why we went ahead and set this base class as an actor type, so we can connect our player actor to it. And now, off of event begin play, we can go ahead and connect that in. And one thing that we want to do is, off of our BP enemy base, we want to search for possess. And here, auto possess AI, we want to select it to placed in world or spawned, because we're going to be later on, we're going to be using BP blueprints to actually spawn the AI. So we want this AI controller to function and possess this AI, even if it is spawned or even placed in the map as well. So let's go ahead and test it to see how this works. We have a sequence. Actually, we'll move the sequence down and then add a selector, and then we'll do a sequence off of our selector. And then now we will go and run, play, and then you can see, although I have removed the AI move to function, the AI is still moving to me, and then they stop. When I start moving, they move along with me as well. So this works very well. I think we can probably stop our little tutorial here with our Blackboard setup. In our next tutorial, we're going to take a look at how to make the enemy attack the player once it reaches the target actor, or the player in this case. Feel free to leave a like for this video, and also any comments if you would like me to show you something to do with the AI that you want to add to your game as well. Until then, I'll catch you on the next part, and keep yourself posted by subscribing to this channel. Thank you, Merle Peterson, for joining the Patreon and supporting this channel to grow.